Here's a fact about Mokujin I found out about 17 years ago, but I forgot about it till just now. As you can see here in the character select screen, I've only unlocked the characters up to Mokujin. And the two locked characters that Mokujin can copy is Brian Fury and Heihachi. So I played for about 1 hour, that's roughly 200 to 300 rounds, and not once did Mokujin copy Brian or Heihachi. So I went ahead and unlocked the rest of the characters, and within the first minute of recording, Mokujin copied Brian. So yeah, useless fact about Mokujin, he cannot copy locked characters. And this weird fact is pretty consistent throughout the series. It's the same for Tekken 5. Don't have Heihachi or Devil Jin unlocked, and a couple hundred rounds later, never copy the two of them. Only after unlocking Heihachi and Devil Jin, only then would Mokujin start copying them. In Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, most of the characters are already unlocked, except for one character, and that's Jinpachi. And like in the other games, Mokujin never copies Jinpachi no matter how much I play. And only after unlocking Jinpachi, only then did Mokujin start to copy him. Also, when Mokujin copies Jinpachi, and he uses his fireballs, there's a small visual bug. The fireballs are invisible, and if you get knocked down and you're facing up, you can birth out some invisible fireballs. I probably shouldn't use the word birth. The visual bug was fixed in Tekken Tag 2. It's also the same in Tekken Tag 1, but I can't really show it. The only locked character after Tetsujin that he can copy is Devil, but Tetsujin can only copy him in the arcade version, and I don't have the arcade version, so you'll just have to trust me on this one. And Tekken 6 and Tag 2 already have all the characters unlocked, so I can't really test anything. And while I'm at it, let's go to Tekken 4. Let's check out Combot, and there's a bunch of locked characters, and you would think Combot is the same as Mokujin. But after starting a match, Combot is copying Lei Wulong and Heihachi, two characters that are locked. He's a hacker, ban him. But yeah, some weird paltry facts. Combot can copy locked characters, but Mokujin can't. And I remember these facts because I saw some people wondering about how if Mokujin was added as DLC to Tekken 8, how would he copy other DLC characters that have not been bought? Well, he just won't copy them. They figured this out 27 years ago. Well, these weird facts won't make much for a video, and I'm on a quest to document everything about my favorite character Mokujin. So I'll also go over all the things he can and cannot copy. And in this next segment, I'm going to use a bunch of moves that might make you go, hey, that's pretty cool, let me boot up Tekken 8 and try these out. Well, you can't anymore. Yeah, some legacy moves, parries, and mechanics that have been around since Tekken 2 have been removed in Tekken 8. And some of these moves that are no longer in Tekken 8 were pretty amazing, like this parry against Yoshimitsu. It was one of my favorites. Grabbing the blade in between the hands and chucking him to the side, it was so sick. And then when I tried it in Tekken 8, I was very disappointed. And I just wonder why. Why get rid of these legacy moves? They were so sick, even chicken is gone.
Chicken. Chicken. Chicken.
Well, it sucks that some legacy moves are gone. Wait, was that Eliza? Hold on, I need to look something up real quick. Oh, I already looked this up before, multiple times in fact. I don't care if it's impossible, I will make it happen. Anyways, moving on. Mokujin's copy. Every round he copies a different character, and when he does copy a character, he copies pretty much everything about them. Their moves, all their special properties. For example, in earlier Tekken games, there was a class of heavy characters like Kuma and Jack, and these heavy characters had a special property where they could not get launched high by certain moves, like Hwoarang's Skyrocket. And if Mokujin copies a normal character, he gets launched high up, but if he's copying Jack or Kuma, he does not get launched. And the same happens in Tekken Tag 1. Copy a heavy character, don't get launched. Copy a normal character, get launched high. And if Mokujin copies a character, he also gets access to all the unique and special interactions they have with other characters. For example, if he copies Heihachi, he can initiate and do the Headbutt Carnival. Mokujin can also do this one move that Jin and Devil Jin have, where if you do a Wind God Fist on the very last frame of a crouch dash, the Wind God Fist will not launch the opponent. It will just knock them back a little bit. What's the purpose of this move? I have no idea. And if Mokujin is copying Nina or Anna, or any female character, he can initiate or continue to do the bitch slaps, which I don't think is very fair, especially with Mokujin's giant metal hands. His tekken, if you will. Mokujin can also do Yoshimitsu's special Poison Breath Brian taunt, as well as trigger Brian's laugh when he performs CBT on him or steps on him. Introduced in Tekken 5, Gondryu had a special hug he could do against Julia, and if Mokujin copies Gondryu, he can do it too. Mokujin even copies the slight health restoration when successfully performing the grab. And the grab can be done vice versa, if Mokujin is copying Julia. But this grab can be done in every game that has Gondryu and Julia after Tekken 5. And the best version of this grab is in Tekken Tag 2, because you can tag out in the middle of the grab and have your partner be grabbed. And a voice line is triggered when they're grabbed, and it can be pretty great. My favorite is Jack and Miguel's. And the slap after being grabbed does 64 damage. You can also combo after the slap. But yeah, this move is pretty much just a joke move. And if one Mokujin is copying Gondryu and the other is Julia, then yeah, they can do the move. Oh, and this one short clip here took me over 2 hours to get. So many attempts to get the male Mokujin to be Gondryu and the female character to get Julia. And why did I put in so much work for this one clip? Because I thought it would be funny. And if anybody is wondering, this move cannot be done on Michelle, only Julia. I know, missed opportunity right there, Namco. Also real quick, Mokujin cannot do any special move or throws that are related to items or costumes, because Mokujin can't equip them, and he doesn't wear clothes. Anna has a special parry that she can do against the shoulder tackle that King and Ogre have. And in Tekken Tag 2, Anna can parry King's shoulder tackle, but this parry does not work against Ogres, and the reason is simple. When Ogre was added as DLC, free DLC I might add, the Tekken team forgot to code it in so that Anna could parry Ogre's tackle, like she could in Tag 1. So if Anna can't parry it, neither can Mokujin. Heihachi's Augur taunt, Mokujin can do it too. Reina can also do this in Tekken 8, just a random fact. When Devil Jin does his lasers, if you hold up or down, Diablo Jim shoots them left or right. This is to catch your opponent sidestepping, but it will miss them if they're standing still. And when I said Mokujin copies a special property, I mean every one of them, even the weirdest ones. Like here with Kunimitsu, in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, she has a weird extended hurt box, and for some reason, Mokujin copies this extended hurt box. This allows Mokujin to be picked up by moves that would normally whiff him. When Tetsujin or Mokujin copies any of the robots, like the Jax or Elisa, he also copies the unique interactions that they have with lasers, like going haywire or doing the special recovery that restores some health. And Mokujin can do all of Jin's Soul Rage moves that were in Tekken 4 and Tekken 5. And Mokujin can do these special Kazama-style parries when copying Jin. The animations for these are pretty sick. There's a unique animation for a 1, 2, 3, or 4 parry. And speaking of special Jin moves, Tetsujin and Mokujin can go into Omen stance in Tag 1 and Tag 2, as well as being able to do all the special moves that you can only do in Omen stance. And as long as Mokujin is copying the right character, he can do every great combo and every tag throw. But in Tag 1, things are a little different. Now Tetsujin, he copies a different character every round, but he also copies a different character every time he is tagged out. So this complicates things a little bit. Tetsujin can initiate every single tag throw and great combo, but the problem is though is when he's off screen, he can't do them. Like here, he started the great combo, but the moment he goes off screen, the game is like, oh, he's a different character. You can't do it.
Fight. Go! Great.
And Mokujin in Tag 2 does not have this problem, because he stays as the character he copies for the entire round. And Mokujin can do the figure 4 leg lock reversal. Well, I mean every character can, I'm just adding this in because it's cool. You can also do this in Tekken 8.
Chicken.
Wait, did you see that? Oh my god, look at that neck action. How horrifying. The next 5 minutes of this video is just a big compilation of my favorite throws, parries, reversals, and animations, except it's done with Mokujin. There should be a timestamp, but if you don't want to see this, just skip to the 16-minute mark for the next section, that is things Mokujin cannot copy. But please do watch this compilation. It took me a lot of time to make it, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Now Mokujin can copy almost everything, but there are some things he cannot copy, like this up back 5 tag transformation between Jin and Devil Jin. He can do the animation in tag 1, but not in Tekken tag 2. That makes this move pretty special. It is the only move where Mokujin can copy a character, but he can't do a specific move or interaction related to that character. There are also entire characters that Mokujin cannot copy. In Tekken 3, these characters are Anna, Dr. Boskonovich, Ogre, True Ogre, and Gone. And one of the most defining things about Mokujin is that he does not copy a character's size. Doesn't matter who he copies, his size is always static. In Tekken Tag Tournament 1, the only characters Tetsujin cannot copy is Ogre and True Ogre, but in the console version, Tetsujin cannot copy Devil, Angel, Roger, or Alex, as well as True Ogre and Ogre. Another thing Mokujin and Tetsujin did not copy was a character's health. That's right, in Tekken Tag 1, there was the first and only instance of characters having varying levels of health. Now this Ogre unblockable on counter hit does 150 damage. Since Heihachi has 140 health, he gets one tapped. And for Mokujin and Tetsujin, it does not matter who they're copying, their health will always be 152. So even if they copy a character with a smaller health pool, they will always barely survive this unblockable by just a pixel. Another thing Mokujin used to not copy was a character's ki or particle effects. Mokujin used to have his own unique one, which were these leaf effects, but they got rid of the leaves in Tekken 6, and ever since, Mokujin just copied the ki or aura of whoever he is copying. A downgrade in my opinion. The leaves were a nice touch of individuality and character for Mokujin. And in Tekken Tag 2, the only characters Mokujin cannot copy is the boss character Unknown, probably because they don't know how to work around this giant hand or the goop attacks, and Combot, the build your own fighter character. And there's everything about True Ogre when Mokujin copies him. It's just one big mess. And in the tag series there is the Netsu system, which is really just an in-game relationship chart. To put it simply, there are characters that like other characters and hate other characters. And if you put them in a tag team, if they're with a character they like, they go into rage faster. And if they're with a character they hate, the character's health has to be lower before rage activates. And Mokujin has his own set Netsu system. And the characters Mokujin likes are Julia, Roger Jr., Kuma, and Panda. And the characters Mokujin hates are Jin, Kazuya, Devil Jin, Jinpachi, Ogre, Elisa, and June. And the characters Mokujin likes. Makes sense, they're animals, and Julia is into reforestation, so it's obvious he likes them. And the characters he hates make sense too. I mean, there are devils and the supernatural, he doesn't like those. But what about Elisa and June, why does he hate them? Well, Elisa has chainsaws, so he hates her as a joke. And he hates June probably because she's unknown. And there is a Netsu system in Tekken Tag 1, but Tetsujin is just completely neutral. He doesn't hate or like anybody. And the same goes for Gold Tetsujin. Now other characters are completely neutral to Tetsujin and Mokujin, but there are characters that like Gold Tetsujin, and these characters are Devil, Heihachi, Jack 2, Kazuya, Nina, Ogre, Prototype Jack, True Ogre, and Unknown. These are the gold diggers right here. Oh, and we can't forget the one person who likes Gold Tetsujin the most. Me. Well, might as well go over Unknown as well. Unknown has a few unique things about her. Whenever you start a match, she will always copy June. Like Tetsujin, Unknown copies a different character every time she is tagged out. But she does have one gimmick unique to her. Whenever you click in R3, Unknown will copy a different character without having to tag out. Being able to rapidly change to a different character on the spot can be pretty handy. It also makes for some very good task videos. But besides that, Unknown's copy is pretty much exactly like Tetsujin. Everything I mentioned before applies to her. The Omen stance, tag throws, special properties, all that. And just like Tetsujin, Unknown does not copy a character's size. She has a static height. She also does not copy a character's health, but she only has 140 health, unlike Tetsujin and Mokujin's 152. There's also a lot of characters that she cannot copy, a lot more than Tetsujin. These characters that she cannot copy are the Ogres, Roger and Alex, Devil and Angel, any of the Jacks, any of the Bears, and Gondu. And Unknown's wolf persona mimics whatever motion she's doing, so if you hit a rolling death cradle in a mirror match, things can get a little crowded. And last but not least, Combot. Now the big thing about Combot's copy is he doesn't change characters enough. Whoever Combot copies at the beginning of the match, he stays as that character. He does not change characters every round, which makes him a little more boring than Mokujin in my opinion. And Combot copies a few things from Tetsujin. He has the same spark aura as him, and he also makes the same sound as Tetsujin when you hold down on the D-pad in between loading screens. And Combot pretty much copies everything, like Yoshimitsu's Soul Stealer. Now only in Tekken 4, if you timed it at the same time as your opponent doing a move, the sword will glow red and you can mimic that move, and use the move by just doing the Soul Stealer input. And Combot can do this move. Combot even copies the weird interaction, where if you do Marduk's takedown and you don't press anything, Yoshimitsu just blows poison mist in their face. And everything I mentioned before also applies to Combot. Jin's Soul Rage moves, Combot can do them. Special properties or interactions, pretty much everything, Combot copies it. And the last thing, Combot has a static height. Well, that's it. Basically just one big video of random Tekken facts. And it really don't matter. I mean, it's Mokujin's copy. That's it. Really just a bunch of useless facts. And I focused mainly on the gameplay. I didn't really go over win poses or anything like that. And win poses are pretty simple. Mokujin copies generic ones, but he can't copy the special tag interaction win poses, like Heihachi spanking Lee or Jin and Kazuya throwing hands. And I went over everything that's pretty much important, and I got no idea how to end this video. So thanks for watching, and Mokujin for Tekken 8.